Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and you're listening to What Happened When? With the voice of your childhood, Tony Schiavone. Tony, what's going on, man? How are you?
I'm good. Happy New Year to you, buddy.
Man, I'm so pumped to be here. 2021 might be the fastest year of my life, but like 2020 took 2 or 3 years. But man, 2021 just, and it was over. But I'm excited for 2022. How about you?
I'm uh I'm cautiously optimistic about 2022.
Ooh, cautiously optimistic.
Mm-hmm.
I like the sound of that, I think. Is one of your other New Year's resolutions to stay out of the makeup chair? And
You know what? I haven't been in the makeup chair.
what?
I don't hang out there at all.
You're scaling it back.
I've scaled it back.
Is that because you're having some problems?
No, it's just you know what? This is not the version you're looking at right now. The version you're talking with right now, Conrad, is not the version that we are going to see when we hit play here pretty soon.
Oh, you mean you're going to see the old? I guess we should mention everybody. We're off that Crockett shit, and now we're on that Nitro shit. Today, we're going to be watching that finger poke of doom shit. I can't believe you and I've been doing this show this long. We've never watched this.
It's a very famous episode.
Yeah.
Because of the finger poke of doom, and we will hear it, because the very famous Butts and Seats line was delivered in that show as well.
Yeah.
So this is this show that we are about to do from January 4th of 1999 is a very, very famous show, or infamous show, however you want to frame it. Very famous show in the Monday Night Wars. So we're gonna look at this together. It'll be the first time I looked at it. So yeah, it is a very different me than it was back in 1999. This version that you're seeing right now looks different. It's older. You'll see. I don't think. I think this version is in many ways happier. I think this version of me is. I don't know. I approach the business much differently now than I did back then.
You're able to, I don't mean to put words in your mouth, but it feels like at times before, and we're all guilty of this. It's, I guess you would call the human condition, but we start to just get used to things the way they are, and we take things for granted the way they are. And sometimes we can't really appreciate the positive stuff. We just focus on the negative, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Now it feels like maybe since this was a lost love of yours, and now with the benefit of hindsight and a little bit of distance and blah, 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 it feels like you're able to appreciate and enjoy this run more so than the first one. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, I think so. I think because I left it for so long, and also because I'm working now with kids, and back then I was working with guys who were my age. Yeah, peers, right. It's there's a lot of things that we're going to get into, obviously, as we go along and watch the show, but it is a much different me.
Yeah, Tony, this is a pretty monumental Nitro. And when Derek, the guy who helps us sort of coordinate our schedules and do some research from time to time, was helping me put together the new calendar year, he presented this idea to me, and I'm like, we already did that. And it turns out, no, you actually watched the show that aired on Raw that night, and we never did this. So I'm excited that we're finally getting a chance to watch it. And Tony, without any further ado, I think we're ready to fire up some old Nitro. Season 5, Episode 1. What an episode this will be. January 4th, 1999. Tony, I'm ready to let those good times roll whenever you've got a little countdown for us.
You really think they're good times?
Well, this is, I guess context is king.
Mm-hmm.
This is the second Nitro after Goldberg's streak ended. And a lot of people, Bobby Heenan, maybe most loudly and proudly, said when you beat Goldberg, it was over. I don't know that that's the case. I've always pointed to this show and said, this is when the downhill slide began.
Mm-hmm.
But history would tell us, in theory, it happened a little later in 99, not here. But
I say the downhill slide, and I maintain the downhill slide began at Starrcade 97 or 98. 98, the Hogan Sting debacle.
Yeah, that was 97.
It was 97. Okay. That's where I say it.
But you had your biggest and best year in 98. Creatively, yeah. I get what you're saying. Maybe 97 was the peak. I would agree with that. Mm-hmm. But 98, you've got Karl Malone and Dennis Rodman. You've got Goldberg. You've got a lot of really cool stuff that's going to happen. And hey, you know what? 99 has some cool stuff too. I mean, DDP became the man in 99, and there was some good stuff that happened in 99. But boy, by 2000, it was over.
It was gone.
Yeah.
All right. So that being said, this show, by the way, lasts 2 hours, 22 minutes, 46 seconds. To follow along with us, you go to the Peacock. Go to the Monday Nitro, WCW Monday Nitro. Have you ever noticed when you click on the Peacock, it's hard to click on? You got to click right on the name Monday Nitro.
Yeah.
It's just hard to click. The people who, anyway, so they're kids putting together streaming services. There you go. Season 5, episode 1. Season 5 of Monday Nitro, episode 1, January 4th, 1999. You ready for the countdown?
Ready.
Tony Schiavone here to tell you about the greatest value in the history of our great sport. AdFreeShows.com. Get every episode of What Happened When and all of Conrad's other podcasts early, ad-free, and on video for as low as $9 a month. That's the price of a Starbucks coffee for hundreds of hours of video and audio content each month. That's not all. AdFreeShows.com is home to exclusive bonus content, like interactive events where you get to ask me anything during our Ask Tony live events. And if you're a Top Guy member, we got to hang out for the entire weekend in Chicago at Top Guy Weekend recently. Did I mention there's also happy hour every other Sunday with my dear, good, close personal friend, Rebel? If you call yourself a wrestling fan and haven't signed up for ad-free shows yet, you a lie. Sign up today at adfreeshows.com.
You know it's all about you!
Let me tell you something, you little skinny motherfucker. I will beat your ass, plus I will beat your ass in video games. I know that's your freaking life. How's it gonna feel to go back to Connecticut and tell the fuckers that an old 63-year-old man beat your ass?
We start out with Goldberg and Kevin Nash. I guess we're going to show the loss, aren't we?
Yeah, these are clips from Starrcade 98. As you recall, Scott Hall comes down dressed like a security guard, hits the old shock stick on Goldberg, turns around, jackknife powerbomb. And that's all she wrote. But watch the crowd reaction when Nash hits the power bomb and hits the pin. They go banana. No, they didn't show it. But there you go. Big Sexy with the big gold. And now, of course, this is a Monster Nitro. Let's listen.
Stage for the biggest rematch in professional wrestling history. Welcome to Atlanta. 40,000 fans are on hand for WCW Monday Nitro, off and running live from the spacious Georgia Dome in downtown Atlanta. As the Nitro girls are in the center of the ring, we welcome you to hour number 1, where tonight, in the first Nitro of 1999, we celebrate Pro Wrestling's #1 program with World Championship Wrestling. It's Tony Schiavone, the living legend Larry Zbyszko, and the Professor Mike today. And as you saw at the top, we are geared up, we are
Left-hand corner.
Yep.
Is Rebecca, Ms. Shawn Michaels, soon to be.
Yep. And front and center, of course, is DDP's wife, Kimberly.
Yeah, and then there's
Fire, your old pal.
And Spice, my buddy, and all the girls. And yeah.
Dude, what a huge fucking time in wrestling. Let's listen to you a little more.
The next short period of time, whatever, but a man of tradition, man from the old school. We're going to put things right in WCW. Not only is it the very first, ladies and gentlemen, the Nitro of 1999, it's the first Nitro of Richard and Flair. Ric Flair is in charge of World Championship Wrestling, and a new day is dawning. We're pumped up and excited to bring you WCW Monday Nitro. In addition, tonight, Hollywood Hogan is here, we understand. He's going to come out and talk to his fans. It's retired. First time we had a chance to hear from Hollywood Hogan since he announced his retirement back on Thanksgiving night on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. And a big party going on here, as you can see with the Nitro Girls, and over 40,000 fans on hand. But as this party is taking place here on the floor of the Georgia Dome, there's a Nitro party going on up in one of the luxury suites here. It's our final grand prize Nitro.
Dude, what a big Nitro. So Ric Flair's in charge now.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, that was part of the stakes from Starrcade and the Fallout. And now we've got a new world champion in Kevin Nash. And as we heard, Hulk Hogan is going to be on the show for the first time in over a month.
Right.
40,000 people. This is not for, Starrcade. This is not for Halloween Havoc. This is not for Super Brawl.
Yeah.
This is just for a regular ass Nitro. 40,000 people in the Georgia Dome. And listen, I know sometimes it gets a little tiresome to compare then and now, but if 40,000 people were collected for a wrestling show now, buddy, it's SummerSlam or WrestleMania or something, and this is just a regular Nitro.
Yeah. And there you see a Nitro party. We're watching Jimmy Barron, who was a local Atlanta disc jockey, I guess, or radio host. Jimmy, pretty good guy. I haven't really talked to Jimmy in a long, long time. I talked to him a little bit in my WSB radio days, but since then he's no longer on radio. But we use Jimmy a lot. And so Nitro parties were the thing, as you know. So we had one in one of the suites, as you can see, up at the Georgia Dome. It was, I look at this and I saw the sea of signs as the Nitro girls are dancing. And it really took some effort to fuck this up, didn't it?
I don't know. I don't know how bad you could say you really fucked it up. I mean, I don't know if it took some effort to fuck it up. It took lack of effort to fuck it up, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Boy, look at this. Yeah. Glacier still doing his thing.
Yeah.
A gimmick that was, what do you think? 2 years too late? 3 years too late? If this shit would have happened in 93 or 94, people would have lost their damn mind.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. This was video game, Mortal Kombat based, and was a little bit too late.
I tell you what, though, part of his legacy, maybe the biggest part when it's all said and done, is going to have to be helping all the youngsters down at the Nightmare Factory, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He and QT Marshall are the ones that.
Don't you say his name like that on this program.
He and QT Marshall.
Thank you.
Sorry. All right. Were the ones that began the Nightmare Factory and have trained many of guys. And Ray is really a first-class kid guy.
Salt of the earth human.
Yes, he is. And you know what? There you see it. I would have liked to have taken everybody back then who had one of those laser pointers.
And just kick them in the dick hole?
No, yeah. And then as they bend over, after I kicked them in the dick hole, to shove that thing right up their ass.
Okay, well, that's pretty aggressive.
We used to, people used to shine in our eyes as we were talking, and I remember we got some cops one time to stand next to us and find them. And speaking of trainers,
one of the more controversial trainers coming to the ring with Jimmy Hart is Mr. Hugh Morris, who's got a buzz cut here.
Yeah. Bill DeMott, soon to be Sergeant Erection.
General Hugh G. Erection.
Oh, generally huge erection. Okay, thank you. Forgot. Look at that. Look at the sea of signs that we have.
The sea of signs.
Mm-hmm. All right. So
But
here
yeah,
we go.
Glacier in a singlet. Going to be taking on Hugh Morris.
Hugh Morris. The name Hugh Morris came from Kevin Sullivan.
Of course.
And I remember the discussion we had, or the discussion I listened into, when he says he laughs, the way he laughs, he's humorous. So he is Hugh Morris. Humorous. Well, we see PJ is there. Thank you, PJ, for being with us back in 1999. We see your sign.
What do you think about, what a night this was? As we mentioned earlier, on the other channel,
yeah,
it's a taped Raw. It's not even a live Raw. You're the only live show here in January of 99, despite the fact that Vince McMahon is now, more often than not, winning the ratings battle. You're still keeping it competitive, but they're offering up a recorded show, a show that was recorded on December 29th in Worcester, where Mick Foley would beat The Rock to become the world champ. And of course, one of Eric Bischoff's old tricks was we give the spoilers right here on the show. Now, he used to do it, but in this particular instance, you're going to do it. And it just so happens at that very moment, a whole bunch of folks pick up the remote and change the doggone channel.
Which is what I thought would always happen anyway.
And now you have a book named after what you said that night.
Yeah.
But process this. We're talking 34,788 folks here in the Georgia Dome paid. There's 38,809 people here. It was set up for 46,000, so it's not a sellout. But there are more people here than you could shake a stick at. I mean, I guess the actual history for the same building was when Hogan lost to Goldberg. That was 35,514. But still, you're talking 34,788 to 35,514. The gate here is $930,735. And supposedly, despite all this incredible success, according to the Observer, and Eric has actually admitted it, Bischoff was disappointed that you couldn't break the $1 million threshold. He wanted to be able to say we drew $1 million at the gate. He wasn't able to say that here.
Yeah. Isn't this something that it's a bigger crowd than by 18,000 than we had at Arthur Ashe Stadium?
It's crazy.
Look how big. Yeah. It is crazy.
And just remind everybody, oh, look at this. Let's take a listen.
What a fat ass.
World Championship Wrestling and what WCW has ahead of itself in 1999. Fans, we've talked about Hollywood Hogan. We'll be hearing from him as he retires and moves into the political arena. Also, we do understand the new man in charge, the Nature Boy Ric Flair, the man in charge of World Championship Wrestling, will come out and give his first State of the Sport address as well here tonight, Mike.
You notice the different feeling in the locker room this evening, Tony? Almost a combination of a sense of relief that Eric Bischoff is no longer in charge, and that heightened anticipation now that the Nature Boy Ric Flair is in charge of World Championship Wrestling. I can't wait to hear what the Nature Boy has in store for the speech.
You can see a look on my face. I wonder how the NWO feels now that the shoe's on the other foot and they can't get away with all the legal loopholes. Flair is a man of tradition. He is a man who has bled for this sport. He is from the old school, and whatever wrongs he can right, Ric Flair will do it.
Ric Flair will do it, and he got his chance when he faced Eric Bischoff last Monday. Let's not forget, he lost to Bischoff at Starrcade, but then he decided he'd put everything on the line if Bischoff would put control of WCW on the line. They agreed to it, and here's what happened last Monday.
Now, who's the man? Now, who's the man?
13-time world champion.
13-time heavyweight.
What a punch.
What was the best part? What did you think?
You dominated. The truth is, all this, I don't deserve it. I got my ass kicked last night, and damn it all, I'm ashamed of it. I got on the plane, I sat down, the flight attendant said, what do you want, Mr. Flair? And I said, hell, I want to go to Baltimore. I put the from head to toe, and always will be. You see this?
Oh, my word.
$100 bill? It's yours. 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 $3,000.
Hey, he just rifled a Gucci shoe.
I will lead the wrestling world forever. I will sign my house, my cars, whatever money I have, I'll sign it over to you. I will give you the satisfaction of saying you raped the nature boy. If you have the you-know-what to walk the aisle here tonight one more time, I ain't going home until you get your ass out here. Come on. You want your rear end kicked again? I'm more than happy to do it. You're on. I pray, just me, I pray to God that if I lose my career, end my career, or die tonight, it's going to be with me having a piece of your ass in my head. Get up, get up. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Break. Break. The man is the fool. Put him up, put him up. Ric Flair, nature, boy.
After further studies of Mr. Flair's electrocardiogram, chest x-rays, and blood tests, I have determined that Mr. Flair did not suffer a myocardial infarction. However, Mr. Flair's blood test did reveal a high level of a toxin called digitalis, which is extremely poisonous. The source of the toxin is still currently under investigation.
Just heard the report from the doctor. You've got a healthy Ric Flair.
Doctor, he's not a human doctor.
Somebody said he was poisoned.
Doctor from Charlotte. He's not even a human doctor. He's a quack.
Here is one of those legends presenting the 13-time heavyweight champion of the world, the Nature Boy.
Man, this Bischoff Flair thing, you guys did pretty damn well.
Yeah, we did. But you know what?
What?
It's too long.
Oh, this recap video?
Yeah.
Well, here's what's too long. Nitro. It's 3-hour Nitro era.
Yeah, there you go.
Nitro was at its best when it was 2 hours. I mean,
Right.
I think you could even argue back when it was a 1-hour show back in the day just kept you wanting more. But after a 3-hour show, nobody wanted more.
Look at Mongo here. Grab and Benoit. And who's that on the other side? Is that Malenko?
Malenko.
Yeah.
Here
comes down the NWO F team.
Yeah. Oh, Paul White. Big show.
No, Flair.
Is that Randy Savage?
It looks like Savage to me. Who's that lady looking at the macho man? Randy Savage. Look at the shirt he's got on.
My God, they brought out everybody, didn't they?
Listen to those bones snap. He's coming up.
You're coming up. Oh.
He dropped the elbow and he's going to pin him in the dead center of the ring.
What's up this going on?
Ladies and gentlemen, Ric Flair is here. When we come back on WCW Monday Nitro, we'll hear from the brand new
Wow.
the man now in charge, and also here tonight, Nash and Goldberg return for the world title.
Wow.
And now the show opened. We're 17 minutes into the show, and now we get all this.
Yeah.
It's a monster time in the business. And I know you don't look back at all this all that fondly, but golly, dude, 40,000 people there. This is good stuff.
Well, it is good stuff for the time. Yeah, it's funny. I was looking at Flair taking off all his clothes, standing there in his boxers, talking to Mean Gene. And you know, and I know he would have loved to shown everybody Space Mountain. He would just, oh, would you take a look at this? Arn,
David, Ashley, Reed.
Mm-hmm.
And in the back, I bet it's old Richard.
Yes, it is.
This Georgia Dome here tonight, knowing that there will not be security.
Wonder where Beth was.
I wonder where Mrs. Thompson is.
Mrs. Thompson is a grown woman at this point.
Well, David's a grown man.
David's getting in the wrestling business. You goof.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Mrs. Thompson is actually on this particular day, she's 2 days shy of her 25th birthday.
Wow. Oh, so you got a birthday coming up here.
Yeah.
In the Thompson household.
Yeah.
You sure do.
This is why I'm saying, hey man, maybe we should try to get ahead.
Gotcha.
As this drops, tomorrow is her birthday.
There you go. And was that? I was looking to see that. Yeah. Isn't it amazing? You look at Ashley, and now you've.
Look at what a badass Arn Anderson was back then.
Oh, he was, wasn't he?
Yep.
There's David Crockett in the background.
Missed him.
Yeah, no, he was back there.
I believe you.
Yeah. I'm trying to think who else I saw.
Malenko, Benoit, and a very colorful NFL Players Union jacket.
Yep, for Mongo.
Oh.
I know his health has been really bad.
You know, if I'm a ticket buyer for this show, I'm thinking, hey, y'all reckon we could get some more of them matches? I just sat through that long. I saw a bunch of girls dance. That's cool.
Yeah.
Saw the light on the desk. Saw a bunch of dudes talking. That's cool.
Right. We saw Hugh Morris and
Glacier. And we appreciate that. And then we got that 32-minute recap of Ric Flair and Eric Bischoff. But now I'm just watching. I paid to watch TV, I guess, because I'm just watching on the monitor as Ric Flair and everything that ever shot out of him walks to the ring.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. 17. We are into this 20 minutes now into it, and we've had one match. You know, Dean Malenko looks. God.
A handsome fellow.
Well, as handsome as he could get. You know, he really is kind of ugly in real life. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I shouldn't say that. He is very ugly in real life. Dial 1010 4 Horsemen. Got you.
Well, back then, you remember.
Oh, I remember.
Had big time collect.
Yeah, 1010 collector. 10.
Isn't it amazing that used to be a thing?
Yeah. We were somewhere recently, and somebody said, "Look," and we looked over to the right, and there were some payphones, and it's like, What's that? What is that? Well, no one uses a payphone anymore for a number of reasons. No, the other reason is because of the germs, right?
Here we go.
All right, you know I'm not working yet. Ric Flair, you're boss. You are boss, and you call the shots, and there's a lot of people that are very happy in World Championship Wrestling.
Says it all. This is a proud moment for me. I'm so happy to be surrounded at this moment by the people that have supported me, stood by me, believed in me. World Championship Wrestling is the greatest wrestling organization on the face of this earth. But for 5 years, a tyrant by the name of Eric Bischoff has run over a lot of people. And as you know, in the past week, my whole life has changed. But the most often asked question was, what are you going to do to Eric Bischoff your first night in office? So, Mr. Bischoff, I know you're in the building, saw you back there. Unless you want to go to work for somebody else tomorrow, you'll come out here right now and talk to the president of WCW.
Facing it for a wide.
Boy, this is really making him eat crow.
Don't cook it.
No, Gene, it's not making him eat crow. It's making him go back to his roots.
Does that look the way a president should dress? He dresses his part.
You know me and Jane, you and I have talked about this a lot. There's a lot of things that I'm going to say, but I've got to have his undivided attention so that he knows.
How much fun was Rick having during this?
Oh, God.
I mean, this is a real life situation that now we've turned into a storyline, and Rick is loving every minute of it.
Yeah.
Mr. President.
Eric was a great heel, guys.
One of the best.
Mr. Bischoff.
Look at that smile.
Eric at this juncture.
Eric, would you say that tonight the shoes are on a different set of feet?
What?
I'm not going to beat around the bush. You know, over the last 5 years, you have taken great pride, almost to the point of, you know, some kind of self-dedication to making me feel very small on many occasions. Not only in the eyes of my contemporaries, Hogan, Savage, name a few, but in the eyes of my peers, you have humbled me many times. The easiest thing to do, Eric, would be to say, pick up your last paycheck. It's been nice seeing you. But that ain't it. I put a lot of thought into this. And since you had fun taking me out of the main event status and putting me on the opening match, as of tonight, and it could change, but as of right now, you officially are working for Tony Schiavone over in the announcing booth.
There you go, Tony.
You can't do that.
I got a list of things you need to abide by here.
Yes, I can.
Let me add some.
And at the same time, I can cut your salary in half because you're not going to be visible on TV anymore. So get over there. Mr. Schiavone.
Yes, yeah,
Would
here I
you
am.
please get a headset for Mr. Bischoff
Yes, Mr. Flair,
and
we have
make
one.
sure that he knows how to do play-by-play?
We'll teach him if he doesn't know.
He's going back to his roots. He's done it on the
Give him
Please jump on me with
tenacious.
these guys here.
Mike, just for a second, you know, go ahead. I know.
Woo!
We got a place for him here.
I guess they're making room for him back there at the
Yes, we
announce
are.
position.
Yeah, no, bring him up.
So there you go.
Wow.
We're still 25 minutes in. This segment's going to continue.
Wow.
We've had one match. Meltzer would say, overall, the Georgia Dome was an absolute disaster of a show. Probably take 18 pages to list all the reasons why. During the show, on 2 occasions, the chimpanzees running WCW told Schiavone to say that Raw was taped and that Foley would be winning the title in the opposition show. So don't switch channels. Nitro was beyond awful. And he was telling people there's a world title change going to happen on the other channel. Who runs this circus? He also knocked Foley, laughing about a company that would make him champ, which isn't going to help Schiavone's rep with wrestling fans since Foley is so universally respected. The WWF shot back when they heard what was being said. since even though the show was taped, the commentary is done live. And they said they weren't going to prevent a main event that starts 2 minutes before the show goes off the air and consists of nothing but walking and talking.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, pretty big time day in the history of wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And this is all happening, we should mention, just a handful of days after Eddie Guerrero was in a major automobile accident in the middle of the night on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
He suffered a lacerated liver, a fractured pelvis, a large portion of his calf was ripped off. He was unfortunately falling asleep in the middle of the night, and this happened while he's driving his Trans Am. So he crashes, he's ejected through the roof of the car, car's destroyed. And Meltzer would say, had he been wearing his seatbelt, he would have surely been killed. He was thrown from the car and landed in the sand face first. When the police came, seeing the condition of the car and the scene of the accident, they were stunned he was alive. And the injuries are said not to be career threatening, but he will be hospitalized until the end of the week. And the preliminary indications are that he'll be out of action 3 to 4 months. But none of this was ever acknowledged on TV. And famously, for all the bad things that people, point their finger at Eric Bischoff about, while Eddie Guerrero's laid up here in the hospital, Bischoff keeps paying him. Now, I know you think, well, he's got a contract. He did not, in fact. They were signing a new contract. It would have been an easy opportunity for Bischoff to say, well, look what you did to yourself. Let's let you get yourself back good to go, and then we'll reassess or what have you. That didn't happen. He still gave him a raise, still gave him a new contract, et cetera, et cetera. So not everything Bischoff did was bad, right?
No, of course not. Of course not. Listen, Eric Bischoff pulled this company up by its bootstraps, if I can use this cliche, and made it into something when no one else had the vision to do so. We use the word vision a lot, but it's true.
Yeah.
He really, really did. Now, I'm watching the show, and I'm watching the length of this on and on and on, and talk and packages and no wrestling and what the fuck. And we're still going to have Hogan come out and talk.
We're almost
you know that
30 minutes, brother.
Yeah.
And our main event, by the way, is a rematch from Starrcade 98. That's the reason 40,000 people are here.
Right.
They want to see Goldberg versus Hogan. I mean, Goldberg versus Nash. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Sure. They want to see the rematch. Sure.
Yeah.
So, but here's my question, all this, and I say it at a very, very interesting time in our business right now, as we and I are talking. And I may have asked you this before, but it's worth bringing up again. Has Eric addressed Craig Leathers to you in any of his podcasts?
Yes.
What did he say about him?
Oh, look who's talking.
I've been real young, and I want to be your partner at Sold Out.
Wow. Oh, man.
Whoa,
Hey.
what about it, Dad? What about it, President?
I love him. He's my son. He's not ready for this. And I'll know when the time is right. He knows what he's doing.
Wow.
Did you hear that from the enforcer?
You and me?
I'm ready.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Everybody, it's the greatest wrestling program in the world. Enjoy yourselves tonight. It's World Championship Wrestling at its best.
All right. Give it up for the
And just like that, a star was born. Of course, David Flair would go on to be on a bunch of pay-per-views, be involved in storylines with Hulk Hogan. He would become the U.S. champ, and Roll Tide, Stacy Keibler.
We work with each other. Heather, get me some water.
I mean, listen, you know, you could get on here and say, well, back in 97, I came in second in the G1, and boy, I was IWGP middleweight champion. Then I even had a quick little run with the TV title over in the NWA. Or you could say, Stacy Keibler. And who says, yeah, I want the first one. I want to be in the G1. Yeah, put me over. I want to be the king of it. Stacy Keibler. Yeah, I'll take that one. Oh, it comes with a U.S. title too? Give me that. David Flair low key unsung hero of professional wrestling.
Yeah, I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you. So Booker T's going to wrestle here. Thank God we're having a wrestling match again. What has he said about Craig?
He didn't love him.
Yeah. Just, have you talked to Arn Anderson about him?
No, Arn Anderson won't say anything negative about anybody at all.
All right. All right. Well, if you talk to Arn Anderson, you talk to anybody who worked behind the scenes, you talk to, Kevin Sullivan, you know, Craig was just drunk with power here. And, he and Annette, like, we're doing their best to take over the company. Look at who's Booker T wrestling here.
I love you're in the middle of a sentence. Who is this?
Okay. So anyway, the reason I bring it up now is that oh God. Well, guess what? Here we go.
It's about over. Emery Hale is going down in 50 seconds.
Okay.
Who is this? You were literally in the middle of a sentence and had to stop. Like, what the fuck is this?
I had to stop when they fucked up a spot there. All right.
By the way, I want to mention Nitro here. You want to guess the rating?
I don't know. 6,
5.
Okay.
Raw that night got a 5.7
Mm-hmm.
next to you personally.
Mm-hmm.
But Nitro itself got a 5. Now, here's the thing. I'm sure a lot of people are thinking, well, is that good? I mean, you gotta have a concept, right? September 14th, 4.5. September 21st, 3.9. September 28th, 4.6. On the 5th, 4.5. On the 12th, 4.6. On the 19th, 4.4. October 26th, 5.1. First time you hit 5 in a while. November 2nd, 4.1. The next week, 4.1. The next week, 4.3. The next week, 4.5. The next week, 4.2. The next week, 4.2. The next week, 4.2. The next week, 4. The next week, 4.6. And then here, a 5. So I won't have a bunch of, oh, the sky's falling talk. I mean, you got a 5.
Hey, come on, you got to join in here. I mean, if you don't say anything, I'm going to have to make a report to Mr. Flair here. It's my job. I'm going to have a meeting with him tomorrow, and if you don't say anything, can we go to the ring? You just won't
fire him.
I can't. I'm not going to fire him. And we got to, you can't just, as a supervisor, you can't just fire people today.
Yeah, you can. You could have fired him.
Sure could have.
Cool? What if you would have fired Bischoff early on, back when you had power?
I'm going to be honest with you. I never had the power that you may have thought and people thought I did.
Well, if we say you did, then you did.
Well, okay. If we say you did, they did. Okay. So anyway, the reason I brought up Craig Leathers was he was running the show production-wise back then, and they had a guy who should have run the show back then, who to me was the best, and that is Keith Mitchell, who, by the way, just retired, and I wanted to bring him up on this podcast because we just honored Keith at AEW as rightfully should, because Keith has had 40 wonderful years in the business. And, well, here's Chavo and the Hobby Horse.
Yep, there he is. You guys were looking for somebody to put with Andrade and AEW to make him cool, I guess. And you thought, hey, let's get the guy who used to ride a horse head on a stick to the ring.
Didn't last long, did it?
Be all set. By the way, my uncle, these are two of his very favorite wrestlers. God rest his soul. He passed in 2020. But he loved the Big Wiggle, and he loved the idea that there was a motherfucker that rode a hobby horse to the ring. So as silly as it may seem, and don't get me wrong, it is, these are two very capable performers.
Yep.
Half of the wrestling stunts that you see in Hollywood, if you saw Glow, or if there is a show happening where there is wrestling happening in Hollywood, Chavo Guerrero is probably involved somehow.
Yep.
And if you enjoy what they're doing with NXT or any of the folks who've come through the WWE system in the last decade or so, good chance Norman Smiley has helped put a little polish on them.
There you go. Great performers prevail, and they ride hobby horses around the ring.
Well, that's the thing. Listen, Dusty used to say wrestling is like a buffet. You got to have something for everybody. So we got to have some hard hitting action. We got to have some technical wrestling. We got to have some acrobatics, and we got to have some funny. And the comic relief, the let me up stuff, the big wiggle. My God, that's what when my uncle went to a wrestling show, he wanted to see the big stars and the big wiggle.
Yeah. And I should know this, but I don't. And that's my life. Is Norman Smiley? There we go. Is Norman Smiley still with NXT or with?
Yeah, yes. I think he'll be there forever.
Okay, well, good. He and Steve Regal, who, by the way, Steve and I texted back and forth for New Year's. It's good to hear from him. One of my favorite guys of all time, Steve Regal. Really wish I was still working with him because I liked Regal so much. And Norman was a class guy too. You know, there's a thing that in wrestling, I believe that maybe I'm wrong. Not always. I think, and you're talking about it here, guys who can wrestle, who can work, prevail, and move on, but good guys do as well. And both these guys were good guys.
Oh, tremendously good guys. And they could have done it without Sling Blade in the corner there as our referee. Everybody knows he likes mustard and biscuits. Everybody knows it.
French fried taters. In the early days, do you know the early days, WWE had the referees with the powder blue shirts and bow ties?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah. And now we went to it. And I guess, did the WWE go to the referees with the stripes after that?
I'm not exactly sure what year all that happened, but
yeah.
They did hit some stripes occasionally.
Yeah, right. But they used to do, because I remember forever Joey Morella with the powder blue and the bow tie on. So there you go. Signs going crazy. Diamond Dallas trash. Emily, will you marry me? I think I saw a sign there that said Beaver rules.
Well,
there you go. There it is. Beaver rules. SWB. The big wiggles going on in the ring. And with a missile drop kick, Chavo takes
top rope. Come on.
Yeah. How about that?
By the way, I want to mention on the lead up to this show, you guys were in Nassau Coliseum, which is very much WWF territory.
Yeah.
You had 12,323 fans there paying $398,000.
Wow. It's pretty good.
Next day, you're in Philadelphia at the Spectrum.
Whoa.
17,196 fans, just about 800 shy of capacity, paid $286,838. Then on January 2nd, you come down to Macon, Georgia. There's 6,000 fans there paying $129,000. Then you're in Columbus, Georgia with 4,000 fans paying $83,000. By the way, I want to mention, while you were in Philadelphia, Bam Bam Bigelow missed the show. His wife went into labor. It was supposed to be Bigelow, Nash, and Goldberg for the title. But of course, Bigelow couldn't make it because his baby was making a baby.
Yep. Well, something you said was very interesting there, and that is back to the Crockett days.
Yeah.
And the old NWA days. When we ran Philadelphia, we ran the Civic Center because we could not get into the Spectrum. That was a Vince McMahon place. Now look how big we are now. I always thought us being in the Spectrum was not anywhere near us being able to run Madison Square Garden, but it was close because the Spectrum was the big building at that time in Philadelphia, and Philadelphia was a northeastern big city for Vince McMahon. So I always viewed us being in the Spectrum as pretty freaking cool. Just like us going to, well, this was after the Boston Garden, but we went to the TD Waterhouse, Water Price, whatever center, or the new Boston Garden, and we're able to run there too. The Crockett days, we were never able to do things like that. So, taste the rainbow of fruit flavors with Skittles. I want to remind you of that. Had sponsors too. How about that? Within the show.
Printing money, hand over fist.
Look at that logo, would you?
Dude, I got one right above me. It's awesome. Thanks to a little tag team effort from you and Mr. Crockett. I still think, man, if I could go back and relive like any period of wrestling, I would really struggle with, do I want to go back to like 86 or 96? What would you pick?
78.
Oh, fuck off. Now we see Horace Hogan. Horace Hogan got a little bit of an entrance, not a ton, but Chris Benoit was already in the ring waiting for him.
Yeah.
Imagine if you're Chris Benoit and you're like, I'm going in first. Horace Hogan gets the big entrance.
Well, didn't Benoit got an entrance to the house, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, of course. I'm just busting.
But yeah, I know, but for TV, I get it. And I think Benoit is feeling it right now too.
Hey, so let's talk about some current stuff here for a minute. See if we can't get you in trouble, because that's what I really like to do. Did you see over the weekend Roman Reigns tested positive for COVID-19 on the day of their big pay-per-view? It was supposed to be him and Brock Lesnar for the title. A lot of people assume that has WrestleMania implications. And match didn't happen because of Coco V.
No, didn't see that.
Did you see Alabama house rule Cincinnati?
Did not see that.
Did you see Georgia break it off in Michigan?
I saw one touchdown.
What were you doing with the rest of your time?
I was playing a lot of video games, hanging out with my dog, doing some work here at the house. We put up some more signs, some more art here in the Batcave, and did some things. Watched a little bit of Disney Plus. I only watched some of Georgia and Michigan because my son Chris sent me a text during the game, and he said, "Are you watching the game?" And I texted him back. I said, "No." He said, "You may want to turn on the SEC network, because they are on the SEC network. They are putting
Georgia radio call."
That's right, the Georgia radio call. So,
which is awesome.
I sent a text to Chris. I said, "Okay, I'm watching. Tell Scott to say hello to me." And Scott said, "Chris Schiavone wants me to say hello to his brother. I'll say hello to him, but I'm not saying hello to your dad," which I thought was funny. And then I saw the touchdown to James Cook, and then I turned it off because I had to play Gran Turismo. That's all I saw of the Georgia game, that one touchdown. But I thought it was cool, and what I thought it was cool about the SEC network broadcast, they had a camera on Kirby Smart the entire time. Well, they had one box, they had the game, one box they had Kirby Smart, and it's like, man, he is nuts. He is absolutely freaking nuts on the sidelines. But that's all. So that's all. So now I guess we got a rematch coming up, don't we? Of Alabama and Georgia. Way it should be. SEC. I saw, believe it or not, I did probably watch more of the Rose Bowl.
What?
Than I did the national championship game, or the.
You ain't seen that yet, but I bet you won't watch that either, will you?
No, I won't.
Because you know the result before they even snap the ball.
Don't know the result.
Well, here's a spoiler. Alabama is going to pick up the win.
Well, it's one of the two. You got a 50-50 chance of calling the right one there.
Better than 50-50.
Okay. All right. Well, good for you.
I know.
And good for them.
Give a shit less.
Yeah.
Right now, though, there is a betting line out there.
Okay.
And do you want to guess what the experts are saying?
Alabama, Georgia by 2, 3, 4.
Georgia's a 3-point favorite.
Oh, well, there you go.
This is the second time that Alabama has been an underdog in years. The last time was against Georgia.
Okay.
And as Leon from Curb would say, they toughed that ass.
Yeah. Well, gee whiz, what are we going to do, huh?
Well,
we gotta prove them wrong, don't we?
No, it's not going to happen. Alabama's going to cut the ass. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that.
Well, that's what I mean. We gotta prove the experts wrong, don't we?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That a way to be positive.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we gotta prove them wrong. Can I say this? Who gives a flying fuck about football? About college football? Not me. Okay.
Hey, we're watching old bullshit wrestling from
I don't
99.
Who gives I don't want to see a bunch of drunk college students or a bunch of overpriced boosters. You know, I just, and like I was glancing the other day at the Rose Bowl and I saw the coin toss, right? And
wait, that's a big moment. Wait.
All right.
Hang on.
You have a warrant for my arrest?
That's correct.
You're kidding me.
No, I'm not kidding you.
Whatever it is, whoever charged me with whatever it is, like I said, you know, Jack knows, everybody in this city knows that I do nothing but positive things for this community. I do all the things for kids. I do things for the fallen cops. So you and you and you, nobody here can take me in for anything that I didn't do. You got that? I don't care, because whatever it is, I'm innocent. Like I said, none of you guys can take me downtown for something I'm not guilty for. Not any one of you guys, or collectively, all of you. You got that? I don't like being wrongly accused. So whatever it is, it's bogus and it ain't true. Huh? I don't hear anything else.
I have an arrest warrant for you, Mr. Goldberg, and you're going to have to go downtown with us, regardless if you like it or not. You are going downtown.
First of all, I don't like it. Second of all, whatever it is, like I said, I didn't do it. So every gun you got and every piece of mace you got, it's going to take every single piece of weaponry to take me down there. Okay, so you prepared to do that? I hope you are, because I am. I stand for good in this community, and nobody can tell me otherwise.
Fans, this is a breaking story here. He's being arrested. For what? I don't know.
What do you want, Jack?
Just calm down.
You know and I know it ain't true.
You need
Whatever
to calm down. I understand it, but you need to calm down. Let's go to the precinct.
Calm down. I got my whole life on the line here. I got my reputation. We're going defamation of character here.
Bill,
okay?
Listen, I understand. Listen, you calm down. I understand, okay? Go to the precinct. We're going to get all the information. Detectives are going to find out what's going on.
Jack,
everything will be straightened out. Look,
it ain't right. This is not right. You know me.
Listen. Go to the precinct. We're going to get the information. Everything's going to be taken care of. Okay? Hey, listen, calm down, Bill. Listen, calm down. Last time I'm going to tell you. All I need you to do is put your hands behind you.
Put your hands
behind your back.
You know what this makes me look like, Jack? This makes me look like I'm guilty.
Look, I understand. Just put your hands behind you. Let the officers handcuff you. We're going to take Bill.
Put your hands behind your back.
Listen, I'm going to tell you one more time. Put your hands behind you. Look, you understand. You know me, okay? Do like I asked you. Let's go to the precinct. We're going to get everything straightened out, okay?
All I got to say, Jack, is we've been friends for a long time. You do your job. You do what you got to do. And I guarantee you I'll be vindicated, because this is wrong.
Bill, I understand.
You do what you got to do.
I understand. Let's just go on down there. We'll get the information. Everything's going to come out okay.
This is wrong, Jack. This is wrong.
Let's go. Let's go.
This is wrong.
This is a breaking story. We're going to follow.
Well, boy, that took a long time, didn't it?
It went way too long.
Yeah.
Let him try to act. And look at this.
Come on, Phil.
All right. So anyway.
What's going to happen here? He needs to just go with these men, get this thing together, get back here for this world title match later.
Well, you know, the way the laws are, any idiot, any moron, any liar, Eric.
This is right. Come on. What's going on?
Step back. Step back.
Come on. Get off me.
Step back.
I got a match with him.
Step back. I'm telling you to step back.
Understandably, Kevin Nash is the one who made this challenge and made the match.
Oh, this is funny? This is funny to you?
Talking to.
I think it's funny because I'm a law and order politician, and I believe in a man doing this crime if he's guilty, and he's guilty. Your vote will be appreciated. Thank you.
Our politician has arrived.
Eric, are you going to be the VP?
Well, Bishop, this got to make you smile, Bischoff. There was.
By the way, we know the story. Goldberg's going to show back up a little later. Hogan and Nash, when that match actually gets in the ring, the rating's going to be a 4.6.
Mm.
Meanwhile, Mankind versus The Rock is going to get to a 5.9. But when Goldberg shows up, people switch the channel. Nobody talks about that, but Steve Austin has the biggest pop in the history of pops that night for the live crowd. But they go from a 5.9 to a 5.1 for the finish and post match. Meanwhile, when Goldberg shows up, you guys go from a 4.6 to a 6.5.
Wow. No one does talk about that, do they?
No.
Yeah. No one says, oh, by the way, they came back.
Yes, they did.
Yeah. Yeah. No one said, well, there you go. History is written by the winners.
Yeah.
Or lied about by the winners, whatever it takes. Anyway, back to just one snippet about the Rose Bowl. I saw the coin toss and the SEC officials introduced a guy in a red jacket as, would you look at the young Chris Jericho here?
More importantly, would you look at Ralphus?
Anyway, I look at that guy in the red jacket and I'm thinking, and I'm saying, that fucker is what's wrong with college sports. Because here he is, obviously making millions of dollars off of kids playing a sport for free. And that's what's wrong with college sports. And that's why I don't like it.
What's wrong with wrestling?
Nothing. Love it.
Why don't you watch it?
I do.
No, you don't. You only watch wrestling when you're getting paid for it. You never watch wrestling because you want to.
No, I want to sometimes.
Okay. When was the last time you just sat down and said, let's fire up some wrestling? Tell us what you watched.
I watched the CM Punk match where he won the title in Chicago and walked away with the belt.
We watched that on our program.
No, no, we didn't.
Yeah, on Patreon. We watched it.
No, we did not. We did not. I wanted to watch it after CM Punk came into AEW. I wanted to watch it and I tuned it in and I watched it. So there.
Okay. You showed us 38 hours of new.
Not us. I showed you.
Yeah.
Because I hate bullshit people.
Yeah. Here you are friends with Dave Silva.
Oh, yeah. And Evan Polisher and all the other jack-offs you got on staff.
I don't know what that means.
Staff full of jack-offs. Look, the guys got their shirts off, man. Just yank off their shirts and paint your body, baby. And it's painted Jericho. Look at that. Chris getting himself a following here.
So yeah, Perry Saturn looking like $1 million here, taking on a very young Chris Jericho. Did you see some journalist the other day wrote a little article saying that Chris Jericho was the greatest of all time in professional wrestling?
Really?
And then Ric Flair apparently took a screenshot and posted it to Instagram and said, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
Which I think is hilarious. I mean, can you imagine a chop off, a woo off, a promo off with Jericho and Flair? It'd be hilarious.
I think it's amazing that Flair knows how to screenshot something.
Well, it's probably Sophia.
Yeah, probably so. Well, there you go.
I just think I love the visual or fantasy book, Flair and Jericho in a promo battle in 2022.
Wow.
Will that be interesting?
That would be
doesn't have to happen on AEW. I know you want to keep Flair a long way away from AEW. I get that. But I'm just saying it could happen on like a cruise ship or a stage somewhere. Doesn't have to be in a wrestling ring. I don't think anybody wants to see the Lion Tamer versus the Figure 4 in 2022 with a 73-year-old Ric Flair.
No, I think you're right. They don't want to see that, but a woo off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be very good. That would be very entertaining.
Can you imagine? What if they just let Flair sing Judas?
Wow, how about that from Jericho?
Hey, that was a hot move in January of '99.
Yes, it was.
This is by the way, this has always been and always will be my favorite version of Jericho. And I'm not saying that's a shit on Chris today. I'm just saying he was coming out here and mispronouncing guys' names and the move of 1,001 holds, or, you know, all of his funny over the top Monday night. I had that Monday night Jerichoholic shirt. Just top knot Jericho is my favorite Jericho.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Chris was ahead of his time.
Ron Mysterio Jr.
Yeah. See, just
good stuff.
Very entertaining stuff, man.
And I was convinced that Perry Saturn was a fantastic performer. You know, I was a big fan of him in ECW as part of the Eliminators. And I know there was a rap amongst a lot of people, quote unquote, in the business who felt like, you know, the ECW stuff was trash and it wasn't as good or what have you. But boy, Perry Saturn held his own here in WCW. Did he know it?
Perry was was solid, man.
Yeah.
And not only he had this, I don't know if you could call it bizarre look, but he had a different look.
That's the idea. Yeah. Stand out.
Yeah. He stood out, but he could perform too. He could work, man. And I know his life kind of hit the skids later on, but Perry was always to me, a first-class guy. And these two are having a pretty damn good match here. So there.
And who would have thought at this point, and I'm not saying this to be disparaging. Again, I'm a big fan, but as fun and entertaining as Jericho was here in this version of himself in WCW, and we know later in the year he's going to interrupt The Rock's promo, but I'm just saying at this point, it would have been hard for me to imagine, oh, he's going to be world champ in the WWF.
Mm-hmm.
Now we know, you know, his career literally had no bounds. I mean, to this day, he's still in a featured spot, but it just would have been hard for me to imagine he's going to be in the mix with, not just in the mix, he's going to beat Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's going to beat The Rock on the same night.
That's right. Be the first ever unified champion.
Because WCW had always sort of slotted him, you know, cruiserweight, television. And we as fans, you know, we can be a fan of yours, but we also we grow accustomed to seeing you where you've been slotted by the booker, right? So
right.
You are, you know, like, for instance, sometimes we get to be creative in our minds and we convince ourselves that something else is possible. Like a lot of people were convinced, well, Power 5 is just an opinion. You know, 13-0 is a fact. Cincinnati is not lost. I mean, where's the signature win for Alabama? What did Alabama do to deserve to be in the playoff? We're undefeated. But we watching at home, we knew, buddy, you're like the cruiserweight champion. And that's cool.
Exactly.
But Alabama's the heavyweight champion. There's levels to this shit. And so I, as a wrestling fan back then, just thought sort of the same thing. And then we saw Jericho, dude. I mean, think about that. In 2001, 2 years after this, that's the end of 2000. So almost 3 years after this, but still beat The Rock, beat Stone Cold, same night, undisputed champ, on his way to headlining WrestleMania. That's hard to imagine. Let's take a listen to Goldberg here.
That is the police precinct across the street here at the CNN Center.
Anybody needs us, we'll be in room 3.
Okay. And as you can see, they've just arrived. The formalities.
3 and what's going on?
I hope our cameras going in. And let's try to pick up some audio here.
Goldberg, you're under arrest right now for aggravated stalking.
Aggravated stalking.
That's correct, Mr. Goldberg.
It's a joke.
Elizabeth Lebetsky filed charges against you.
First of all, I'm not capable of anything like that. Second of all, I don't even know who Elizabeth Lebetsky is.
I do.
Bill. Miss Elizabeth. You crazy, Miss Elizabeth?
Miss Elizabeth. Filed the stalking charges against you. So what we're going to do, we're going to sit here and talk to you. The detectives are interviewing her right now and trying to figure out just exactly what the charges are, and they're going to let us know, and we're going to go from there as soon as they get back with the information.
Wow, great.
Okay.
Jack, you know me.
I know
This
you're
ain't
not,
me.
I know you're not capable of it, but we still have to go with the information. Okay.
You guys go ahead and do your job. You can be the one to pay for this, because it was not me.
All right. As soon as we get the information, we'll let you know what's going on. Okay. They're interviewing her now. All right.
So the storyline here is aggravated stalking.
Mm-hmm.
And don't forget, we're an hour and 2 minutes and 34 seconds into the program. That is without commercials. So we're really probably closer to an hour and a half. We're about halfway through the show.
Right.
And our advertised main event, why these 40,000 people are here in the building, well, 38,000, because, you know, everything's wrestling, is to see the rematch, which is Goldberg and Kevin Nash. They want to see this guy, Goldberg, win his world title back. Right. And instead, he's been arrested, and they do explain he's right across the street. But still, he's been arrested for aggravated stalking. And as the story goes, the original storyline was Miss Elizabeth was going to accuse him of rape. And of course, Goldberg said, ain't doing that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
What were you talking about?
Goldberg raping Miss Elizabeth.
I was looking at, to be very honest with you, I was looking at about how beautiful Mrs. Shawn Michaels was, because she was beautiful, absolutely beautiful, and a beautiful person to boot. One of the nicest ladies I'd ever met. Hey, a little thumb wrestling.
I love you just glossing over the rape. That should not happen. I mean,
no, and Goldberg was right.
Yeah. What a terrible, no.
Yeah.
That's not putting a storyline. By the way, I want to add context. You know, Eric Bischoff, if he were here, and he's not, he's up the road. But if he were here, he would tell us context is king, Conrad. I'm saying all that to say, I can't believe this is real.
That they would even consider rape?
The rating, as we've established, 5.0 and a 5.7. Remember the date on this show. It's January 6th. You're head to head with the College Football National Championship.
Yeah.
That's a strong ass rating considering what else is happening.
Was the College Football National Championship actually on that day?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this was before the playoffs, obviously.
Yeah.
Right. And this was before ESPN completely ruined the bowls. So, and made the bowls meaningless. So, here's Miss Elizabeth.
I just want to get some information here in reference to this perpetrator. When was the last time he confronted you, ma'am?
It was just a few moments ago, just right outside in the hall at the water cooler.
Okay, right outside by the water cooler.
Yes.
Okay. My partner, any other information that you can possibly provide in reference to us nailing down the suspect?
I filed 3 reports already.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you read them?
Yes, ma'am. We've
He
read.
follows me everywhere. I mean,
Now, what do you mean by everywhere, ma'am?
Last Monday in Baltimore, I mean, at the pay-per-view before then, it's everywhere I go. Every hotel that I am at, I'm at the Marriott, and I turn around and he's there at the arena. I walk down the hall, he's there, he's following me. I can't take it. I go to the gym. I just need to relax. And who's there? He's there. He's behind me. He's always there.
Did you feel threatened?
Did I feel threatened? Of course I felt threatened.
Well, take a moment. Talk to you outside for a second.
This is something, Conrad, that even with stalking with a stalking charge. Well, wait a minute. What do we got here?
This is the LWO video.
And my homies party and really hit it, man. Show us some lowrider. Órale, say home.
That is one sweet ride, ese vato. I like it, man. Hey, check out the mamacitas. Are you guys ready to party? Woo, do I want to party with that? Hey, Hulk, check that out. Órale, ese vato. Ese Spider, check out his ride, man. Isn't that sweet? Oh, yeah, pop it, man. Give me some sky. Oh, that's right. We're gentlemen. Let's escort these ladies off the cars and let's go show these mamacitas a good time, man. Woo! Am I ready to party with that? Guys, you ready to go back in? Yeah, let's go party! Oh, wait. Hey, what? Park the cars and show the gentlemen. Ladies, should I escort you? Hey, didn't I tell you that Eddie Guerrero and the LWO can throw a party? What do you think so far?
Ay, rico.
Hey, vatos, what can I say? Órale, parca, muévele. Yeah. That's it, baby. So on, Silver, let's have some fun. Dance, baby, dance. Órale, vato. Ven conmigo. Yo, Tex, come with me, dude. Oh, that's funny. Do we have a problem? No, just kidding.
Eddie Guerrero, on top of the Latino world.
Man, girls, if I can promise these vatos the world, don't you think I can give it to you, baby?
Definitely.
That's right. Because who's the man?
You are.
Who's the vato loco?
You are.
Who's the homie?
You are.
That's right. And don't anybody forget it. Chachos. Hey. Aquí, más dinero. El respeto que se merecen. More money, the respect you deserve, and now beautiful women around you. Hey, man, show me some gratitude. Give me a soda. Oh. Ladies, would you like a soda too? Gandhi, show us a gentleman at your own homes and go help Damien with us. Oh, David. Thank you. Yeah, really cool. Hey, I'll treat you. This is good. Well, full house.
W, hermanos.
¿Quién es Eddie?
Sí, change too much, cabrones.
Who's Tracy?
See, I just wanted to say it's not about you, Gandhi, and it's not about you, Silver King, or you, Damien. It's not about my homies. It's about the whole world. It's about LWO. And only united do we stand. The time has come for you to respect LWO.
By the way, as that is airing, Eddie Guerrero is laid up in a hospital bed.
Wow.
31 years old.
Wow. And how long did that take? Jesus.
Yeah, that was quite a video there.
That was quite a video. Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of overachievers, we talked about David Flair earlier. Here comes another one.
Yeah.
Billy Kidman. And behind him, one of the most exciting wrestlers anybody ever saw.
Right.
Rey Mysterio Jr. Or as Jericho says, Ron Mysterio Jr.
Yeah, Kidman should be punched in the nose just for Torrie Wilson purposes.
Yep. No argument there.
Anyway, I want to go back to before we saw the Latino World Order video.
Yeah.
Even in this day and age, the video of talking about having a woman sit there and talk about being stalked.
Yeah, not cool.
Not cool. Wouldn't even be, you couldn't put it on the air today.
No.
It's just all wrong. And I'm not so sure.
You ever do any stalking in your day?
None. I just not sure that how much that Latino World Order video could put on the air. I mean, I don't know. I it was kind of a cliche-ish with the band. But anyway.
So there's Psychosis and Juventud.
Yeah.
Going to be taking on Ray and Kidman. But this is WCW right here. This is Nitro era WCW right here. Dude.
Yes, it is. Isn't it amazing? These were the actual stars. They really were.
Yeah. This would be like your Orange Cassidy's and your some of the crowd favorites. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like,
yeah, right.
WCW maybe missed the boat. I shouldn't say maybe. I mean, look at how many masks Vince McMahon sold. WCW should have been doing that in a bigger way.
Yeah, absolutely.
What else though is you see, Halloween and stuff. Kids dress up like Orange Cassidy. They think that's cool. And by the way, great guy. Yeah. But I'm just saying they were doing that here for Ray too.
Yeah. And they're off and running, man. They're wasting no time.
40,000 fans too. This is probably one of the bigger crowds that any of these guys have wrestled in front of. It's got to be exciting when man, more people than ever are seeing me right now.
Yeah. 40,000 fan. A little disagreement there between Psychosis and Juventud.
I think the idea is they're trying to get Hoovy to commit to join the LWO.
Oh, got it. 40,000 fans, as you mentioned, and had to sit on their hands with their thumb up their ass, so to speak, while we watch all those videos, right?
Yeah, including Liz being interrogated.
Right.
Or Goldberg being interrogated. It's just.
Yeah. Yeah, it's terrible. And of course, hindsight being what it is, it's still terrible.
Yeah.
Here he comes. Dayglow Yellow. Tijeras. Thank you very much, Excalibur, for
teaching you a few new words.
Yes, he's helped me out a great deal. Cazadora. What else? Also, what other words has he taught me? I don't know. A lot of different moves.
Tequila.
Half and half. Sliced bread.
Number
Spanish
2.
fly.
Bread number 2.
Tiger Driver 98. Of course, one of Ray's favorite moves, the 619. I don't guess we can use that. I've never asked if we can use it.
Well, I'm sure he knows it's called something else.
Yeah, but still. So there's a lot of things that I've learned from Excalibur that I really appreciate.
So next month,
yeah,
the gang's all going to be there in North Georgia. Have you worked on Lois anymore? You're going to get
no, we're not coming. We're not coming. But thanks for the invite.
No, I know you're not coming.
You knew I wasn't coming, but you had to ask me anyway, didn't you? Just to hear me say no again, to show the fans that I truly am a bad friend.
No, they know that. They know I've been checking the mail every day. They know that. It's no big deal.
Yeah. Look at this, man. Ooh. Got to be on the outside.
If you had to rank them of the 4 guys here, your favorites to watch: Kidman, Mysterio, Psychosis, Juventud. Number 1 for you would be
Mysterio.
Duh. Number 2 would be
Juventud.
We're neck and neck so far. Number 3,
Psychosis.
Oh, we have the exact same taste.
Yeah.
And then 4th, I got Charles Robinson, and then 5th, Billy Kidman.
Kidman just has heat that he never will get relinquish.
No,
never will get rid of.
I've never met him. He's probably a great guy. I just wanted to make you laugh.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a dick.
Oh, is he?
No, he's okay.
I can never tell with you. You know, you're so quick to shit on everybody.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Yes.
No. Well, when it's if truth be known, you're so quick to shit on me. Is how it works.
I've never.
Oh no. Well,
hey, let me mention you were asking dumb, stupid ass questions earlier about the game that was happening here. The Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe, Arizona.
Yeah.
Is going to be host to the 1999 Tostitos Fiesta Bowl, the very first BCS national championship game.
Oh, very good.
Keith Jackson and Bob Greasy would be on the call on ABC, where there were 80,470 fans going into the matchup. Bobby Bowden's Florida State University was a 5.5 point favorite
over Tennessee, right?
Bill Fulmer's Tennessee Volunteers.
Right.
Of course, on the way there, the Florida State sophomore quarterback, Chris Winkie, friend of the show, believe it or not, I'm 1 degree separated from him. He actually was not able to participate in the game. So Tennessee's T. Martin, who people are still buying jerseys for in Knoxville, which I can't believe, led the Volunteers to victory 23-16. So Tennessee gets the win here. And as a result, of course, Tennessee is your national champion.
And never got close since then.
Never
but
will.
they were
will.
Yeah, they were the first BCS champion.
Yep. But still, that is happening at the exact same time that Mick Foley's winning the world title and Goldberg is dodging rape charges.
This show is this match is again very good, as you would imagine with these performers. But overall, Meltzer's right. This is a terrible show. I mean, this is a disturbing show. This show is us thinking we can put anything on TV and they'll buy it. This is like a director coming up with Coming to America 2. Thinking that, Coming to America was such a great movie. They'll love it. We can make it as bad as we want.
You're just negative.
No, that's exactly what it is. We have seen through time and entertainment, especially in movies, where the people who run the movies just think that, we were hot and we'll stay hot forever. You won't. You've got to work hard, continue to work hard. We can put 12 minutes of videos on there. The people in the stands, they won't mind. Yeah, they will. They won't come back next time. And the people watching the show will think, where's the wrestling? Isn't that what we... No, it's a male soap opera. Yes, I get it's a male soap opera, as the old cliche goes. There we go.
The hotels and a gym.
Let me tell you something, Jack. We're both booked at all the arenas around the country, first of all. Second of all, hotels. Office puts us up in all the hotels. The same place. And the gym? You know, I train at gyms all around the country. What are you talking about?
She said the Abaki gym.
Jack, come on. She's a member at Obaki Gym. And the reason why I'm always there is because I own it. This is an example of how ridiculous this is. I want out of here now.
Bill, calm down. Look, we're going to check it out. As soon as we find the information, I'm going to let you know. Okay?
Just do your job, get these cuffs off me, and get me back to the arena.
I'll be right back.
We are live from Atlanta on WCW Monday Nitro here on TNT. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm certain if you've been watching, and you have, over the past few minutes, you have seen what has happened to Goldberg. With that, I would like to introduce to you the current reigning WCW heavyweight champion of the world, ladies and gentlemen, from the Wolfpack, Konnan Nash. gets quite an ovation. We'll go down as a very cheated victory at Starrcade. You know, you heard how angry he was.
You have asked for time to respond to what we've seen over the past few minutes. Kevin Nash, this is your forum, my friend.
Yeah, at Starrcade, a lot of people say that Kevin Nash beat Bill Goldberg. As far as I'm concerned, at Starrcade, Bill Goldberg got screwed. I was sitting back there in the locker room getting ready for a match with Goldberg, and I watched the turn of events that's happened tonight with Liz coming up with some trumped up charges. And it doesn't take Clouseau to figure out that I know who's behind this, and that's you, Hogan. So it's real simple. Since the Nature Boys seems to be righting all the wrongs, Nate, I'm asking you, let me have Hogan tonight. I know for a fact that you've had 8 days to go over contracts. I know Hogan's still under contract. I want Hogan tonight. Call it a warm-up, because I know at the end of the night, Goldberg and me will be in the ring for the world title.
These folks wanted to hear tonight, Kevin Nash.
So Hogan, if you're out there, and I know you are in the back, it's real simple. You and I hook it up tonight.
Wait a minute. President of World Championship Wrestling, Ric Flair, you've had to be dialing in on all of this conversation. You hear the request of Kevin Nash?
First of all, regardless of whether I agree with how he got it, he is the world heavyweight champion of the greatest wrestling organization in the world. I don't know what's happened to Goldberg, but I know this for a fact. If Liz is involved, Hogan's pulling the strings. And if Hogan's pulling the strings and thinks he's going to dance off to Hollywood, make a movie, and make a mockery of this company, he's wrong. Tonight, Hogan, you're under contract. If Goldberg can't make the match, you, my friend, in front of 40,000 and the world are going to wrestle big stakes.
Yeah! Tony Schiavone, I think that match has been made. We've got a new president, and we've got a whole new attitude. Kevin Nash, I thank you. Back to you, Tone.
All right, Gene, thanks a lot. And also, he said he wanted to face Goldberg later on tonight as well when Goldberg comes back. Hey, is Hogan the root of all this? One would think so. Goldberg and Nash, will it happen? Higher.
Another
what
package.
do you think so far?
I keep thinking back to who came up with all this.
Well,
Who came up? What?
Wasn't this your booking?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course it was my booking, you fucking dumbass. No, did you ask Eric who came up with all this?
Yeah, the booking committee. That's what you always say. Kevin Sullivan's here. Of course, Kevin Nash is here. Of course, Eric Bischoff's here. But this is, by and large, them wanting to push the envelope. But obviously, Hogan has creative control. So
right. So Hogan came up with this finish that we're going to see, very infamous finish in this match.
That's probably not his idea. I think it's
okay. All right.
Kevin Nash is the booker.
Okay.
Kevin Nash has been criticized for years for he booked himself to beat Goldberg, and his response was for 2 weeks so I could lay down for Hulk Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
The idea was let's, reinvigorate the NWO, set up a whole bunch of new challengers, and let's take a listen.
Yeah.
I've already told your partner everything, and I don't think. Do I have to repeat this again? Why do I have
Yes,
to?
ma'am, you do. I need to hear it for myself. Kind of a bad speller. I need to write it all down. Where did exactly this happen now? The last incident that you were trying to explain earlier.
I was at the Coke machine, and I was just getting myself a Diet Pepsi. I turn around, and there he is. Okay,
What was he wearing?
Red tights. Red tights.
Okay, now you said he followed you all over the place. Went to the Marriott, I understand.
Yes.
Where else?
He's followed me to the arenas. He's followed me to the gym. He's followed me.
Any particular gym?
It's the Obaki gym.
Obaki.
Yes.
Okay, now when you say followed you, did he confront you, touch you, or anything? Did you see him face to face, man?
Yes, face to face. He's always there.
Does he ever say anything, man?
Of course he does. Why am I defending myself here? This is not fair, okay?
And we're just asking routine questions here. We just want to understand what happened.
You know, every time the phone rings, I pick it up and he hangs up, okay? I mean, I don't think I should have to keep defending myself.
Oh, I'm not asking you to defend yourself. We're just
Yes,
trying
you
to
are.
understand.
And that when he doesn't say anything, but he always hangs up on you.
Yes. I'm the victim here. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am. We understand it. Tell you what, you're getting upset. Why don't you just rest one moment here, okay? Just take it.
I want him locked up.
Yes,
I'm tired of this, okay? I've filed all these reports. You people are doing nothing.
Yes, ma'am. Just take a breath.
Just take a minute.
Okay.
This is not good.
No, it's terrible. And guess what?
Less wrestling, more talking.
More talking. And we're coming up on the butts and seats comment here too. I think it comes after Hogan leaves the ring.
Oh, I love that you remember.
Well, no, you know what? It's not that I remember. It's that last night I had to go back and look at it to make sure that we were going to track it. And I even wrote down the time code in the show. 1 hour, 32 minutes, 55 seconds. So Hogan's going to talk for about 5 minutes here. Actually, about 4 minutes. So, yeah, here he comes.
I mean, what a cool look for him.
Oh, it was, man. Yeah, it was. Of course, he and Gene had that chemistry. Gene was the best, wasn't he? God. Every time I, that's one thing I really love about going back and watching these shows and watch Gene in action. Watch him work. Watch how he just was so subtle about some of the things he said, but how he could really pump the fans up. Really make things seem important. He was over the top without seeming to be over the top.
Here he is.
Well, you know something, Mean Gene? It's quite obvious that the world of professional wrestling still revolves around Hollywood, brother. Check it out. And you know something? I was going to take this time tonight because on the Jay Leno show, I promised my fans that have stuck with me through thick and thin that I was going to formally say goodbye to them tonight. And I couldn't think of a better place to do it than right here in Atlanta, Georgia, the very home of World Championship Wrestling. I was also going to take this time tonight to formally announce my vice presidential running mate for the upcoming election. But, brother, when there's positive momentum, there's positive momentum. But when there's negative momentum, there is really negative momentum. And when I came in this building tonight, and when I witnessed this so-called phony hero, this sexual deviant, Bill Goldberg, being escorted out of the building.
Sexual deviant.
It just made me sick to my stomach.
Brother.
But the thing that I've heard all around the building tonight that makes me just as sick is the fact that that lucky, big, tall spoon, the new heavyweight champion of the world, Kevin Nash, has been bragging and starting rumors by saying that the only reason Hollywood Hogan retired was because he's afraid to fight me in the center of the ring. That just made me sicker than anything, Mean Gene.
All right. I think the jury is out on all of this because, as you know, Ric Flair is now the president of World Championship Wrestling. He says it's a done deal. It's signed. If you come out of retirement tonight, you've got Kevin Nash and a shot at the WCW World Heavyweight title.
Well, you know, they say Wolfpack's in the house. Well, brother, I've watched the Wolfpack puff, and I've watched them puff, brother. And Ric Flair, he's running things around here. And if he says Hollywood is going to wrestle, well then, brother, after all the huffing and puffing, I guess I owe my fans one last retirement match. And to the Wolfpack out there that's been huffing and puffing, after tonight, when I beat Kevin Nash, when I retire with the World Heavyweight title, you can just call me Hollywood, the Big Bad Wolf. Boom!
All right, Tony, I don't know. Right now, with the state of affairs with Eric Bischoff working the booth, you guys have got to be in some great company back there. And what about Hollywood Hogan? Back to you, my friend.
Here we go.
It just keeps happening. It keeps changing. And that's because we are coming to you live tonight. It's something no one else in wrestling. Hollywood Hogan walks away. You look at this 40,000 plus on him. We understand that Mick Foley, who wrestled here one time as Cactus Jack, is going to win their world title. Oh.
There it is.
Ka-ching. We go to break and they go elsewhere.
Now we're selling credit cards.
But they come back, as we mentioned.
Personally, merchandise discounts, automatic entry into sweepstakes, an insider's newsletter, and other exclusive benefits. You get the best wrestling card we're used there.
Boy, GDP was not interested in selling that. That was a super low-key deal for him.
Mm-hmm.
He was so over the top and right there.
Yep.
He picked the hottest card today. Hi, I'm Paige Falkenberg, here for a word about MasterCard.
Yeah. You know, I can see why, man, that
referee of all time. I mean, I could never do what you do with like counting to three and the ringing of the bell. I mean, that is absolutely tremendous. You know the rule book in and out. Which brings me to the next point of a professional wrestler should never be laying his hands on a man of your stature. He should never be touching. Perry Saturn has been throwing you around. I mean, the next time he touches you, you have to disqualify this man immediately. You have to get revenge by using the rules to your advantage. You are the ring general. You are the master in there. Show it. Prove it.
So that's why the bell rang so quickly earlier against Perry Saturn, wouldn't you think? A little buttering up of the referee. Wouldn't you see it that way there?
I smell margarine.
Margarine. And now here comes Buff and stuff, and the girls can't get enough. And right behind him, the big bad booty daddy, Scott Steiner. You know, isn't it crazy when you really think about it that, you know, Buff here legitimately has like 2 years and change left in big time wrestling, and that's it. Like, it's pretty crazy in hindsight to think that his run was about to be over for real.
Yeah.
After being such a big part. You know, I know it's kind of fun sometimes for people to take shots at Buff, and Lord knows we've had fun over the years. You know, at some of the funny, silly stuff that happened in wrestling, but
yeah,
in hindsight, damnation. That was it for real.
Yeah, well, you know, Buff had a tendency to self-destruct. I think that's pretty well out there.
But I'm just saying, is that unique in wrestling? Like, we see that happen. Look at how many other guys have done that, but it's like they get another opportunity after another opportunity. It feels like Buff. Here you go. Let's take a listen.
Looking at the greatest body in professional sports, I need to know one thing. If you're tired of being with your fat, out of shape, gas pumping redneck, and you want to be with a real man, because all you got to do is grab my hand, and I'll take you to Loveland, and I'll show you
Who's the Superman? So this goes to all you freaks out there. Big Bubba Bump, here's your hookup. Holler if you hear me.
You know, of all the things we did, holla if you hear me. I remember it.
Ever since me and Buff burned Mark McGuire's hat and jersey, WCW have tried to censor me.
Please.
You see, every attack that I've done on WCW have been for a reason. And now that I got the belt, you can't censor me. I'm out of control. I'm out of my mind, and I'm loving it. Steiner, listen. Let me show you something I learned. You're going to love it. Watch this. Whoa, you okay, Marcus? Marcus, what's the matter? Come on. I just got over that triple bypass surgery. I shouldn't be doing this dance yet. Don't do that dance, man.
Who's he mocking right there?
Ric Flair. Ric Flair just faked a heart attack on TV.
Okay.
One more time, so I don't have a problem with that. So K-Dog, come back down here right now so I can beat you up, and then I'm coming out after one of you people that thinks they're man enough to make me and kick me out. So here comes the former television champion, Konnan. Come on, Rednecks. You are next. After I beat him, I'm coming out in the crowd.
Did you notice the sign that said, "I'm not wearing any underwear"?
I saw it early, and I couldn't believe you didn't mention it.
I'm thinking, what goes through somebody's mind that, okay, I'm going to make a sign. I'm not wearing any underwear. Yeah, that'll be a good sign.
You ever get back in the day when you were a dating man, 40, 50 years ago, you ever go on a date and realize, hey, wait a minute,
I don't have any underwear?
Yeah.
No, I never did. No, I always wore underwear.
I didn't mean you.
Oh, you mean? Yeah, no. So I look at Konnan, who is one of the great performers of all time. Really, really is a legend. And I think, why would he associate himself on a podcast level with a piece of shit like Disco Inferno?
Yeah.
It blows me away.
Yeah. Disco Inferno is really a great podcaster.
Oh, he is? Disco Inferno is really a great podcaster?
He's getting people talking.
Yeah, he sucks. Okay.
You just don't like that he doesn't jack off everything AEW does.
No, I just, the fact that he has a conduit to me, and that is Adam DeMoy. He and Adam DeMoy are the same ilk. They're dipshits, and I don't want to hear it. End of story. So anyway, here's Buff Bagwell, who at one time I called him Scott Steiner's lackey.
Yeah.
On the air, and he was really pissed off about that and confronted me on an airplane about it. And I said, well, Buff, I'm sorry. I said, but that's kind of the way you come across. Am I wrong? He said, well, you shouldn't say it or whatever. So, and he's probably right. I shouldn't have said that.
What did you think about Betty White?
Yeah, sorry to hear that. She didn't make it to 100, did she? Came close.
Real close. Would you make it to 100?
No, shit, no. I don't want to make it to 100.
I think
I don't want to make it to 70.
How many years did that give you, bud?
6.
You don't want 6 more years?
I've had enough, man.
So is this our last episode?
No, I don't think so.
I'm just trying to figure out when I need to get DDT on the horn here.
If you would look at what I'm doing in my life, you would think that I want to live forever. All the supplements I take and the workouts I do on the Peloton, and you would think that, man,
running around sniffing what's her name's hair all the time at TV.
No, don't do that.
What? You don't sniff what's her name's hair at TV?
You talking about Rebel?
Oh, I meant Lois.
Oh, Lois. No. Don't do that either.
Mm.
All vaccinated and up and booster shots and all that. You would think that. But every time I walk downstairs from here in the Batcave and I go by and see Lois sitting there watching Fox News, and I hear all the bad things that go on in this country. And then I look at a college football game and I see through it, and I see that it's nothing but a money grab for old men.
Well, how's that different from AEW?
Yeah. Well, it's big different from AEW. Big.
How? Explain
We don't have guys performing for us in the ring that are not getting paid. That's how it's different.
Oh, they don't need more in college either. You know, they got NIL. Are you not aware of that? I mean, Alabama's quarterback made over $1 million this year.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good. That's good. So anyway, I just don't want to see what this world is going to be in the next 10 years.
See, is it? You're just gonna take a hose, put it in the back of your Ford.
No, I'm not going to do that. No, I'm not going to do that at all.
Out of the window.
I'm not going to do that at all. I'm just telling you, I've had a nice long.
What are you going to bequeath me? You're going to bequeath me some things?
Yeah, you can have anything that says wrestling on it in this house.
I said bequeath, and you didn't even put it over.
No,
not bequeath. Bequeath. I said queef, and I thought
bequeath. Okay. Okay. No. Okay. Sorry. All right. There's the bell. Go out a damn match.
How about this though? Big stars in the ring right now.
Charles
Robinson took a bump from hell.
Woo.
Konnan, aka K-Dog, Scott Steiner, Buff Bagwell, and here comes Slick Johnson. Everybody loves a Slick Johnson. How do you not love this presentation? This is an entertaining segment.
Yeah, with Slick coming in with his
Buff deserved a second shot.
Well,
you know, why don't y'all do that in AEW?
Do you know that as JR talked about,
you're going to give Johnny Gargano a shot. You're going to give Kyle O'Reilly a shot.
Well, we've given Kyle O'Reilly a shot. I haven't seen Gargano. Do you know something that I don't?
Yeah, he's showing up for AEW, bud. Come on, everybody listening to this knows that.
Okay, really?
Yeah, it's probably happening tonight.
Okay.
Or maybe Friday night. I don't know, but
soon. So whatever happened to Bray Wyatt? I thought he was showing up for sure.
Nobody said that, actually.
Yeah, everybody said that. There were signs for it.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Stop it.
So we just believe every sign. Now that I know that, we'll just start.
No, we can't believe every sign, but we obviously believe everything you read on the internet.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously.
I read you were a jailhouse bitch. I mean, I don't know what that means.
Okay. I read you can kiss my fucking ass. How about that?
So here's the question. You know, listen.
Sold out, baby. Coming up January 17th, live on pay-per-view. Order now.
Y'all gonna bring back Luther. Y'all gonna bring back David Crockett. Y'all gonna dust off Tony Schiavone's old tired ass. And you ain't got the stuff to let Buff answer an open challenge one day or something?
No.
I want to see a blockbuster on Cody Rhodes. We got to find a way to get Cody cheered in this motherfucker somehow. Let's let a real heel come to the deal.
So you just booking away here, aren't you, today?
Well, I'm just having fun.
Just booking away.
So here comes Wrath, aka Adam Bomb, aka the Night Stalker, aka Brian Clark, aka I think Corey Ryan Forrester's wife refers to him as Daddy. I don't know what that means, but
wow. And don't you think he has
a lot of hair dye? Yeah.
No, a little similar look to Roman Reigns.
No, I don't.
Okay. Long.
Oh yeah, long black hair. Okay, yeah.
Long black hair.
It's water. Okay. He dumped a water bottle on his head.
Okay. I think there's a lot of him that looks like Roman Reigns here. Big, greasy hair, facial hair. And of course, just like everybody else, we're not going to wrestle. We're going to talk.
And I know you people paid your money tonight to see Wrath drop the thermonuclear meltdown on the dome.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I really don't have a problem with that. What I do have a problem with is no competition.
Mm-hmm.
If there's anybody back there in the back who's got the guts and can be a man and step up to the plate, come on down.
That's a big challenge, and of course, the man can really back it up, and it's one of the things that live TV is all about. I mean, here's a man coming out and making a challenge to anyone, and
and here comes Bam Bam Bigelow. See, here's what I'm suggesting.
Okay.
Create what just happened.
Okay.
Have Cody Rhodes say
Uh-huh.
those same words.
Yeah.
So where Brian Clark is, that's Cody Rhodes, and Bam Bam Bigelow is now Buff Bagwell.
Okay.
I just want to know, do you cowards have the sack to put Buff on TV or not?
I have no impact.
I'll tell you what's a dream match over here on Cliff's Edge here in Huntsville. A dream match over in these parts.
Yeah.
It's Brian Danielson and Buff Bagwell.
Wow.
Let's put a clinic on.
You don't dream too big, do you?
Let's see what Kenny Omega and Buff Bagwell can do.
Wow. What is this Buff Bagwell infatuation you have on this program today?
I bet Buff would do a better job at commentary than you would. I mean, here Buff would at least have a fucking cool hat and glasses, have that goatee like he likes it. And watch, he can do it too. That's exactly right, JR. Boom. Cut that man a check. We good to go.
You at times you're funny, at times you're fucking wordless. And I don't know which at that moment this is. You could put somebody else in there, right?
What do you mean?
Who else could you, instead of bringing in Buff to?
Well, listen, if y'all really want to fucking, set the woods on fire, you know what you need.
What?
Oh God. J-A-J. Just add Jarrett. Come on. He starts strutting down there. That's heat, Bubba. You want somebody to turn Cody babyface? Let Jeff Jarrett answer an open challenge. Yeah, okay. They're going to clap and go yay for Johnny Gargano. They're going to stand up and fucking boo when Double J comes out and takes over.
Well, let's see. Who else?
With a fucking guitar? Shit.
What other your podcasters going to get worked? Let's bring Kurt Angle out. Let's bring
Angle.
Yeah.
Did you just you better put some respect on his name.
Okay. How about let's bring out JBL.
Here's what I'm saying.
Okay.
If JR can take off 3 months and Arn Anderson can find every item to fall off of, and you can get on TV every week, never find an iron, I won't hear that we're too busy and too full for Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett has done it all. He's been a booker. He's been a promoter. He's been working underneath. He's been working on top.
Oh God.
I mean, did you forget that half of your goddamn production Jeff Jarrett put together in TNA? Ask Keith Mitchell. Oh, y'all ran him out of town on a rail too. What's up with that? I can't wait to see what Keith Mitchell has to say, because he's going to do a big swole type clapback. Not really. Man, we haven't talked about that at all, but 40 plus years, Keith Mitchell in the wrestling business and finally hanging it up. Dude, what a cool career that guy had.
Yeah, I mentioned it. I kind of mentioned it earlier when we were talking about Craig Leathers, and a wonderful career. And I've said this many times, and I said it to the fans in Jacksonville, that Keith, as an executive producer of TV, knew how to treat people well.
Yeah.
And that's important. That is so important, especially in wrestling with the egos and the pressure of putting TV together. And there is pressure putting TV together. There really is. And to do it on a weekly live basis, there's just, it's a chore. It really is on many levels. Keith was always sounded calm in our ears. And I know there was a lot of crazy going on. I know, Tony backstage, gets excited and he's talking to Keith and then Keith's got to listen to Tony and listen to the coach or the agent of the match and talk to the director and help guide us as announcers. It's a talent. And Keith was just a calm, easy voice that was always smiling when you talk to him. There's not going to be many people like him in the wrestling business.
I'm glad you said that. Man, was he trying a Canadian destroyer about 8 years ahead of time right there?
I was trying something.
That was really 5 years ahead of time. I was just kidding.
Yeah. So anyway, I just think that Keith Mitchell deserves every accolade, every honor that he gets.
It's funny because I was actually talking to Keith the other day.
Uh-huh.
And it was off the record, but I betray all confidences, that.
Yes.
So he said, "You know what this place needs, Connie." He calls me Connie like JR does. And when somebody's been in the business that long says it, you just you listen.
Right.
So I'm like, "No, what do they need, Mr. Mitchell?" And he says, "God, we got to get Jarrett in here." and I agreed, of course. What am I? So I think it's old JAJ just had Jarrett. Of course, over the weekend, he made his Game Changer Wrestling debut. A lot of questions swirling around. What does it mean that Jeff Jarrett's back in the ring? And he didn't look like Jeff Jarrett.
Really?
He didn't have those Bob Vila glasses on. He didn't have, the 19 neon colors. He didn't have his Dick Dancer outfit like he liked it. He was dressed in all black, just cracking motherfuckers over the head with guitars. I think him and Buff Bagwell they could show the Young Bucks how it's doing. That's what I'm saying.
So is there a shirt on boxofgimmicks.com that says book Buff or book Jarrett? There's got to be.
But promoters worldwide are. I'll tell you that. Oh, let's listen.
Clarify some of the information you've already given us. Now, you say this has happened often.
Yes.
How often?
How many times do I have to repeat myself?
Just one more time, please.
It happens all the time.
And it happened most recently?
I just told you. It just happened just a while ago.
And where did it happen again, ma'am?
It was at the Coke machine.
Okay, ma'am, you told me it was at the water fountain.
Now, when you're at the Coke machine, were you getting a Pepsi out of the Coke machine or a Coke out of the Pepsi machine?
Or was it water, ma'am?
Okay.
Now, the Marriott that you mentioned, don't all the wrestlers stay at the Marriott, the whole team?
And that gymnasium you were talking about, don't all the wrestlers go to that particular gymnasium, ma'am?
Obaki Gymnasium, I think it was.
And
hey, Bill Goldberg owns that place. I wonder why he's there.
Ma'am, you've been looking at your watch quite often there throughout this interrogation. That's a nice watch. Can I see that?
My grandfather has one just like it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was a gift. Yes, thank you.
Oh, a gift.
You say he was wearing black tights?
I think she said red tights.
Red tights.
I saw red, okay? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
He wears black tights, Miss Elizabeth.
Miss Lebetsky, I hope you know that perjury is a serious crime here. You can be charged yourself with falsifying a report, ma'am.
Miss Elizabeth, you are going to be charged. Falsifying a report is a felony. We're talking jail time here, honey.
And not only that, ma'am, you're wasting our time. Come on, partner. We're going to talk for a minute, ma'am. Clear your story up.
Get it straight.
Hey, you know what, guys? Listen.
Ma'am, have a seat.
I think I could be mistaken here, okay? You know what? As a matter of fact, I know I'm mistaken. It wasn't Bill. A lot of these guys, they look alike to me. There's a lot of these bald-headed wrestlers running around, and I just feel terrible, and I feel awful because, I feel I cost Bill Goldberg his world title shot again, and I just want you to apologize for me, okay? Please give him my apologies because I don't know how this is going to happen. I feel really bad. Okay?
Tell him yourself. Wasting enough of my time.
Okay. Thanks so much for your time. I appreciate it. Okay. I'm really sorry. Okay. Thank you.
So there you go. She walks it back.
Yeah.
By the way, Obake is the name of Goldberg's gym, which was in Sandy Springs, Georgia, which is a high-end suburb. I think friend of the show, Cody Rhodes, lives over there now. And
yes,
I believe, according to Google, Obake says it is a term that means changes, referring to a state of transformation or shape-shifting, which I guess is a good name for a gym if you're into that sort of thing.
Obake. Okay. That's cool. I remember, I remember the only two things I remember about this show are the comment, the butts and seats comment, and the finger poke of doom. The only two things I remember about this show. I don't know. It's kind of like I guess a car wreck. You know, you have amnesia. You forget. But then again, there you go.
How about the ladies putting on a show here?
Yep.
I don't even know what to think of this dance.
No.
I like the Nitro Girls concept.
Yeah, it was good. It was,
you know, we're into equality now, and I don't think you could do that now, but I think we could have some dancing dudes. Like, why don't y'all just have Buff come out and dance on Dynamite? Maybe Rampage. As
yeah,
you go into out of commercial, Buff could do one of his deals.
Yeah, why don't we bring Jarrett out to dance with him?
No, Jarrett's a wrestler. You see, Buff is an entertainer, though. Buff is a natural born entertainer.
And why don't we, hello, Melissa, why don't we bring out the Disco Inferno as well?
Well, because you don't like him. Oh, look, there's Jerry Glanville.
Wow,
Jerry They couldn't get him front row seats. Yeah, let's just put the coach of the Falcons about 3 rows back.
Yeah.
But he is wearing sunglasses indoors, which means he's an asshole. Speaking of assholes.
Oh, by the way.
Adding absolutely nothing. I mean, your boss, Ric Flair said, never mind. It will be Kevin Nash and Hollywood Hogan later tonight for the world title. And as soon, I'm sure, as they get the paperwork all done, and as soon as they can, they will release Goldberg. And you can better believe he is going to storm back here. He's got to get his boots on, his trunks on, and he'll be in this building, I'm sure, any way possible to be a part of a match.
Forget about the boots and the trunks. The guy will come naked with fingerprints, ink on his hands if he has to. Get ready. Goldberg, I know the man. If he can get out, he'll be here.
Here we go, man. We're home stretching. We got about 22 minutes left in the program.
Oh, wow.
You know what that means? It's time for Virgil. Here you
Hey,
come, boys and girls.
You know what? The of everything that's gone wrong with this show, everything that was bad, the idea of Goldberg's coming back would kind of want you to make you tune in, right?
Absolutely. It did. 6.5 rating for that segment. Head to head with Mick Foley, The Rock, and Stone Cold in the ring, where there's a title change, and they know it. And head to head with a college football championship. There are so many people watching wrestling, and you got to think it's because Jeff Jarrett was on Raw and Buff was on Nitro.
I mean, I think so. Also, I wanted to ask you this, and I saw it with Hogan, and now I see with Virgil. Do you think that Jay-Z Flair got his white sunglasses idea from watching Hogan there or watching Virgil?
Virgil, because everybody knows that Bojangles is a jobber food.
Mm-hmm.
They, you know, it's it's like Whataburger. It's curtain jerking. It's not like
I love Bojangles.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
You know what Bojangles has that no other place has?
A biscuit that'll choke a fucking donkey. Like if you try to, this is a real test for everybody at home. If you have a Bojangles near you and you want to just walk into the store and order a biscuit, and they'll say, just a biscuit? And you say, yes, just a biscuit.
Yeah.
You sure you don't want anything to drink with that? They'll say it like that, like trying to make it, you know, your idea. But if you say no, just the biscuit, they are legally obligated to slide you a free cup of water because they know there's no way you'll be able to choke that down without the system. It is the driest biscuit the Lord has ever made or allowed on this earth. If you want to kill your grandfather, take him on a fishing trip, and when he's out of beer, hand him a Bojangles biscuit. That's it for Paw Paw. He gone. the driest goddamn biscuit, guaranteed choking. That's what Bojangles has. Now, if you want a biscuit and you're there, try the sweet tea with it. It's fine. You'll choke it down. But without lubrication, buddy, it's the end of Paw Paw. He's caught his last crappie.
Choke a fucking donkey. You got to go back and listen to you say that. I happen to like,
Now, listen, Bojangles is great. I'm just busting balls. I know it makes Jay-Z laugh, but
listen,
the biscuits are dry as fuck. That's for real.
Okay. They have something no one else has, and I love them. They have country ham biscuits. No one else has country ham biscuits. They have them, and I just freaking love them.
You ever go to Jack's? You live in the South.
Jack's. Was that used to be Jack in the Box?
No, it's just called Jack's.
Okay.
Cassio loves it because they'll sell bologna biscuits, ham biscuits.
Oh, bologna biscuits.
And when they have a sausage biscuit, I don't mean like a patty. They got like a link.
Right. Wow. Jack's. They have and fried bologna biscuits.
I don't know if I don't know how they make the bologna biscuit. Yeah. I'm never gonna eat it, but yeah.
Biscuits.
It got you, didn't it?
It wasn't. It's always in the delivery. Do you know what Bojangles has?
A biscuit that'll choke a donkey. That's what Bojangles has.
No, I'm sorry to laugh over this match.
It's a Brian Clark match. Brian Adams match. We're out of Brian. We got all the Brian.
Okay.
Let me give you a spoiler. Diamond Cutter. On to the next one.
Okay. There you go. Well, there you go. Good stuff.
This is our next to last match, though. It's going to go 8 minutes and 58 seconds, which is about 8 minutes too long. Before we actually get to the big time segment, the finger poke segment.
Sign the back said Diamond Dallas trash. Wow. Oh, there's Virgil getting these licks in. How much money you think Virgil has made on the autograph circuit since his retirement?
Well, let's see when that was. Let me look that up. WWF Virgil. Let's just see. Okay, so well, of course, now that I think about it, ain't that some shit? Y'all had Virgil in AEW, but you ain't had Jeff Jarrett or Buff Bagwell.
Ain't that some shit?
That's some shit right there, my man.
Yeah, I go from Minneapolis and Full Gear into Albany, New York to go to a autograph signing. And as I walk in the gymnasium or the center there, whatever they call it, first person I see, Virgil.
Yeah. So you'll go make appearances where Virgil is, but you won't actually come to my get-togethers. I get it. Virgil probably sent you a cool Christmas present, though. So here's the deal. He retired in 2000, or that's when his WCW deal ended. So he's been on the independent scene now for 21 years.
Yeah.
And I would guess, you asked how much money he's made at meet and greets in those 21 years. And I would guess it's somewhere in the neighborhood of $21,000. $1,000 a year.
Okay. Well,
sounds about right. Maybe you figure he's selling one autograph a week.
Mm-hmm.
And you do that 50 weeks a year because he takes off Christmas and Thanksgiving like everybody.
Right.
And there you go.
Well, there you go.
$20 times 50 is 1,000 times 21, 21,000. Follow me for more math tips over on Twitter at Higher Buff or at JAJ. Just add Jarrett.
Just add Jarrett. Oh my God! There you see. I can see Jerry Glanville, bottom right, with those sunglasses in the second row,
looking like a fucking goof.
Yeah.
Seriously, he looks like a Caucasian Ray Charles.
Oh, by the way, you mentioned Betty White passed away. Also, Dan Reeves passed away. Former Falcons coach.
Oh shit, son.
Yeah. That's sad. He was a good guy.
I missed that one.
You did? Yeah. That's sad news because I got to interview Dan a couple of times and talk to him at the radio station. He was a good guy. And listen, Dan Reeves, integral part of the success of the Cowboys back in the 60s. Great tight end, great receiver for the Cowboys and Tom Landry's team. So anyway, yeah, he passed away. So
I remember my dad being such a big fan of his when he was coaching Elway, and of course the Broncos could never put it together, and it was awesome to see my dad just really want it for him, and it never happened.
He got the Falcons to the Super Bowl too as a head coach.
And of course they Schiavone did.
Yeah. He was 77 years old, and he died on January. He just died yesterday. As we're recording this, January 1st on New Year's Day. 77. Also coach of the Giants. So, yeah, Dan was a good man. Dan's one of those guys that probably way too good for the business he was in. Kind of like Mark Rick was. Too nice of a guy. Well, you said this match lasts 8 minutes. There's Virgil up top.
Oh, there it goes. Terrible. Wow. He's got to be pissed about that.
Yeah. But look at the fans react.
Dude, he's over like Rover. This is DDP is at the height of his career. He became a made man in 97, but then, set some pay-per-view records with Karl Malone in 1998. And of course, we know we're like 3 months shy of him becoming the world champion. When there's so much that, we could pick apart and beat up about WCW here, DDP ain't part of it, man. People love him.
Yeah, and with that, Matt Schiavone was at home, and he went through some of his stuff when he was a kid, and he showed me a big 8x10 photograph of the entire drum line of Pope High School, and they all had DDP Bang shirts on.
Oh, that's fun.
And they all were like holding up the diamond cutter sign. That's how over he was with the kids. With that diamond cutter. Look here, man. Yeah, not the best one. But the fans go nuts. And there you go. See him standing up? You can see it on the right there. Showing the diamond cutter sign. You're right, buddy. DDP was over.
He's a star, dude.
Yeah, and you know what? He earned every bit of it.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, and now he's a multimillionaire, and he earned every bit of that.
Hardworking dude, great dude.
Great story. He has a great story. I don't know why. Oh, here we go.
Bill, stop banging the wall, man. You're gonna put a dent in. Calm down. Listen, I just talked to the detectives. Miss Elizabeth dropped the charges. She admitted that she was lying. She broke down under questioning.
Get these cuffs off of me now.
All right.
Take me to the dome.
Let's go.
Take me to the dome. I want to see the finger poke of doom.
I mean, listen, that is a nice little climatic, finish.
Yeah. Now here we go. See how long this intro is.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Georgia Dome, home of the National Football League's NFC Western champion, Atlanta Falcons. It's WCW Monday Nitro and the first main event of 1999. Right here in this ring, the ultimate grudge match for the heavyweight championship of the world. Are you ready? Atlanta, Georgia, are you ready? For the 40+ thousand in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm. You know what?
You don't like that?
Well, I put a stopwatch on. It took him 1:10 to get that out. And he kind of fell out of favor with Eric. Has Eric talked about that?
No.
Yeah, he kind of, and I don't know if I just remember Eric saying to me, damn, these are long-winded intros. He needs to short up a little bit. He needs to quicken up the pace. I mean, look how long it takes for him to get to it. Let's get ready to rumble. And I guess he had a point, but Eric brought him in, right? So because of the excitement level that he added, no one could really pump up a crowd like Michael Buffer could. No doubt. But yeah, he, talking about the Falcons and the NFC champion, West champions or whatever. Just a lot of wording. But anyway, I distinctly remember Eric saying that. That could have been like, Eric was in a bad mood that day and said it. He did that a lot. Just vent in a bad mood. Like, how much weight have you gained? When are you going to cut your hair? Stuff like that. I get it. But little did we know at that time, Eric was making a whole bunch of money.
Eric wasn't making as much money as you think he was.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. Eric did okay.
Yeah.
But Lord, there's so many wrestlers here making way more. Like, you compare how much money WCW was making on top, when they were at their peak versus what he was making. And I bet you would have to say that Eric was one of the worst paid executives in wrestling history.
Wow. But still well paid.
Oh yeah. Well paid.
Yeah.
Sure. But I mean, I'm thinking, and again, I don't know what it is off the top of my head, $500,000, $1 million, whatever it is. The point is though, by comparison, at the height of Crockett Promotions or the height of World Class or the AWA or even Vince in this same era, look at the pyro. Look how much it is. It's shocking, Kevin Nash.
Yeah. All that you're talking about, those are guys that owned their company. Eric didn't own the company.
I'm not arguing that, but I'm just saying that is the way wrestling territories and businesses had been ran up to that point.
Right.
Oh, take a look at this as he points back.
The newly crowned, reigning, and defending, undisputed WCW NWO heavyweight champion of the world.
He's still talking.
Kevin Nash.
We hadn't seen Scott Hall for quite a while, and here he is, the big reunion. Scott Hall's going to be in the corner of Kevin Nash, and of course, Kevin felt like he needed backup because Hulk Hogan has Scott Steiner with him. I love the way they would shoot some of these NWO entrances, tilting the camera like Batman back in the day. Yeah. Fun stuff.
Yeah, the old Batman from the 60s. I agree, man. Great stuff.
Go with him, and we're just about set to do it. Little shot show. Let's do it. The last thing we expected was for Hogan to wrestle here tonight against Kevin Nash, but why not? Truly one of the biggest in size. Athletes are concerned what they mean to the sport of professional wrestling. Against the man who's taken the West into new heights.
This is going to get very interesting, Tony. Real interesting.
Fans, as you know, it's getting close to the 11 o'clock hour. We're going to stay right here. We're going to follow all the action as long as it takes. So stay with us. These are not tape matches. This is happening live. This is Nitro. The bell sounds. Billy Silver making the call. No matter what happens, we're staying with it here tonight.
We're going to be here.
That's what we're all about.
We are live.
And as we know, as we saw before the commercial break, Goldberg making his way out. We haven't seen him. Where is he? I'm sure we've got people at every entryway, the main entryway for the wrestlers to come in. We're taken out as soon as Goldberg hits. I know we're going to follow that story as well. So many things developing back and forth.
Tony, Hogan's in his street clothes to wrestle.
Listen to the fans. Look at Hogan's reaction.
Over 40,000 plus. This is better than a playoff game.
Now, this is what pro wrestling, what world championship wrestling is all about.
Gee, I'm over the top.
Look on Hogan's face. But Nash ready to go at it.
Taking their time with each other.
Nash trying to get him to hook up at least by shoving the man in the corner. Let's see if that gets a reaction from Hollywood here. He's been in so many big matches.
Well, he has.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner, the new heavyweight champion of the world, from NWO Hollywood,
is unbelievable new world heavyweight champion. What the hell is he doing here? He's under arrest. What is he doing here? Get him out of here. The world heavyweight champion is in the ring.
Well, they arrested him once. What's another time? Go for it, Goldberg.
This is a disgrace. This is a disgrace. Get the police on here. Give me the
This is getting a 6.5 rating right now.
Get him out of here. He's a thief. He's a criminal. He shouldn't be alive. Insane. My golly. Gee willikers. It's all fun. Tony. How could this happen? Oh, my goodness. How could this be? Oh, the world heavyweight champion, Hollywood Hogan. Kevin Nash, the newest addition, Luger. Oh, my goodness gracious. Tony, can you believe it? Can you believe it? Oh.
It's another handcuffing Goldberg to the ropes. They're going to spray paint the big gold belt with that red spray paint for the NWO. Buff Bagwell's in the ring because they knew they needed to get this segment over.
And there's your
there's the shock stick from Scott Hall. Look who's in the ring with them, of course, Miss Elizabeth. So this is the grand reveal that it was the NWO pulling a ruse to get the belt back on Hulk Hogan in the same building that he lost it to Bill Goldberg. So the NWO is back together. There's no longer these split factions. Let's take a listen.
Outnumbered, and they hit him with that taser.
He's been racked. Okay, let me call this one for you. Let me call it for you. And now, the World Heavyweight Champion in position, and he makes it go.
Jesus.
So they not only spray paint NWO for life on his back, but they spray paint his pants. Then they start doing his head, and he starts to legitimately get a little pissed about that piece, I think. And now it's time to deface the belt. So again, even though in hindsight we can say, you know, this was the beginning of the end. Got a 6.5 rating, and it is a cool visual.
Yep.
Man, if you advertise and promote to the fans that you're going to get a rematch of our biggest match of the year, Kevin Nash and Goldberg, and they're all here to see Goldberg, and then you don't deliver, well, leaves a little bit to be desired.
Yeah, you fucked up.
Let my family save your family some cash. You don't need perfect credit. You don't need money out of your pocket, but we will save you money. It's not a matter if, it's a matter of how much. SaveWithConrad.com. I want to mention too, we're not going to fuck up. We're going to keep the train going, because next week we're going to be back talking World Championship Wrestling from January 17th, 1987. And you're probably wondering, wait a minute, what is that? It's the debut of Lex Luger. But then we'll be back with a Clash of the Champions. I think we're going to hit Clash of the Champions 18, and then Royal Rumble 2017, and we'll hit Wrestle War 90 next month. And
wow, we got a lot going
on. A lot of fun stuff coming down the pike, dude.
Yeah, man, we're going back and taking a look at really, I mean, this show, for as bad as this show was, this show had elements that are really important elements in wrestling history. This show did.
I agree. Totally agree.
Yeah. For good or bad. And that scene of them spray painting Goldberg with Eric on the mic and Lex Luger turning on Goldberg, that's pretty good heat. But again, you fuck the fans over by not delivering what you had promised. Then you fuck them over even further by that silly finger poke of doom. And I immediately was watching the fans reacting on that, and they didn't react at all. I don't know if it was they were upset, confused, didn't know what to make of the situation, but a lot of times you can just read the fans to see if something's has worked or not, and that obviously didn't work. But again, it was a memorable night for many, many reasons. And there you go. It'll live in infamy, that night of World Championship Wrestling.
Well, I'm looking forward to what's next. 2022 is here, and as we know, and we've established here, both Buff Bagwell and Jeff Jarrett are going to be on AEW this year, so should be a big year, man. Looking forward to this.
We have not established that.
You just told us that 20 minutes ago.
I did not tell you that. You can go back and listen to that. That's something you've been pushing. And for you guys out there who consider yourself wrestling journalists, bullshit. Don't write that, because that's not true.
You just told us. I mean, listen,
I didn't.
We don't even.
Go.
I don't want to keep doing this.
No, go review it. Go review it,
please.
I did not say that.
Right now, though, Tony, it looks like it's about that time.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming out of the entryway right now, take a look at the pyro. Here comes Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett. He doesn't have a guitar. He doesn't have the sunglasses. He doesn't have any of that bullshit he used to wear. And here comes his partner, Buff Bag. Oh, my God, Buff, look at the way he looks here in 2022. But they're going to be a tag team partner, and they're going to face a Bojangles biscuit and a piece of shit, a big turd, because that's exactly what we would have if they would wrestle again, because we're desperately out of time. We'll see you next week on What Happened When, because that'll put butts in seats. We come to you each and every Wednesday on Cumulus, but on Monday, exclusively and ad-free, we come to you on
Patreon, patreon.com/WHW Monday. And of course, adfreeshows.com. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.